Good afternoon, traders and investors. Will back here with another one. Hope you guys had a great weekend, coming to you live from Monday after the close. Now, another green day on SPY today. Actually, the first one in quite some time. Shouldn't say another one. And we had some good rotation here on the part of technology, which has been kind of left back for a minute. Now, SPY putting in 0.55% to the upside, QQQ 1.12%. And this week, guys, we don't really have that much news. We do have the Fed minute meetings here on Wednesday, but other than that, just a few value name earnings. So let's get into everything right away. We're going to look over our major indices. The daily bounces are definitely underway. We are going to look at our major tech names, and lastly, my portfolio. So without further ado, let's get into it. Earnings this week, guys, not too much. Tomorrow morning before they open, key one here, Home Depot is going to definitely be big. On Wednesday, we also have Target and Cisco, which are going to be the major ones I'm looking at. And then on Thursday, Walmart here, a couple other ones, this one before the open, most important, and Friday, John Deere and Estee Lauder, which I really want to keep an eye on. So as you guys can see, not that big of a week for earnings, pretty much all the way through our major earnings names already. So let's get into our indexes, yeah? SPY here, decent daily bounce underway, and you can see it here on the heat map, was mostly fueled by our technology names. So great day on semiconductors, NVIDIA up over 7%, guys. Huge bounce on NVIDIA, and was desperately needed from the level that they were sitting at. But you can see the rest of the market here was kind of lagging behind, so did have a bit of outperformance from technology. And if we look on the one-day relative here, you will see technology, communication services leading the pack here, and all of the other industries that were kind of supporting the market in the last 2 weeks while tech was dropping, they are now the ones pulling back. So good rotation here once again on the part of the market. Now, where do we stand, guys? Well, our daily bounces are currently underway. Keep an eye. This is our first daily candle here with a close above yesterday's information, above yesterday's close, right? So this was Friday. This is today. If you could see, ever since that drop here, which pretty much started with the USA credit downgrade, you can see that we have struggled to put in higher closes, right? Higher highs on a daily candle. This is actually the first one. So daily bounces are underway. You can even see it on the 4-hour, right? 4-hour time frame curling up above our moving averages now for the first time. So daily bounces are underway. Once again, we are still in a daily downtrend at this point, right? But we're going to measure the size of the bounce, guys. This 451.68 level here is absolutely key. If the bulls can put in enough of a move here, could set up the space for a potential daily trend change. What was I asking you guys to look out for when we were in a daily downtrend as such, right? You go out to the weekly and you see that this was just weekly consolidation, and we were looking for our level here. We were looking for the 12 EMA. Didn't quite get there, but the bulls putting in a good reaction here, guys. If you see it on the daily here, I had it up before, but I kind of erased it now. There was a decent previous resistance, a support level here. Bulls reacting to this very nicely. So our daily bounce is underway. What are we looking for here, guys? And this is going to be the same on a lot of our indexes and major tech names. So keep an eye on this. The size of the bounce here is crucial. If we can get back above here tomorrow or Wednesday, above our moving averages, it creates a lot of space to set up a daily trend change reversal. If we get a daily uptrend reversal by the bulls, that will be your weekly higher lows being set. And at that point, guys, we are going back up to our 52-week highs. So just keep an eye on that. SPY looking very decent for today. QQQ, same thing. QQQ, daily downtrend. The bulls finally with a nice little move up here on the day, right? So QQQ, we were looking for that weekly bounce around the 12 EMA, and we got it right today. Today's action brought us right into that daily bounce zone right here, weekly bounce as well on that 12 EMA. So I'm closely going to be keeping an eye on the size of the bounce. If we can get above 374, guys, on this week, it'll set up a really good potential for the bulls to engulf the most recent leg down and create enough space for your daily uptrend reversal. Need to get above these moving averages, guys. Crucial. But for the time being, weekly bulls prove why they've been able to control this weekly uptrend for so long, not giving back too much. And when it needed to happen, right, they stepped in a big way today. So congratulations to our bulls. Keep an eye on the size of the bounce. Financials still consolidating here somewhat sideways. Bears not able to flush this 34.66 level. You can see how many times they've tested it now, rejecting from this 26 EMA as well. So what were we looking for on financials? We were just looking for the weekly higher low. Anything pretty much above 3260 was just going to be that weekly higher low. This is still a weekly bull flag. So I am definitely expecting, especially if SPY and QQQ keep pushing, definitely expecting our financials here to power up for their second leg in this weekly uptrend here to push us up in a 36, 37 area of resistance. And we'll see how they deal with it now. But bulls looking fairly decent, if I do say so myself. Healthcare bounce continues to be underway, right? So bulls doing a great job here of getting all the way back up to our previous highs. So what we were looking for on healthcare, same thing as financials. We were looking for the weekly higher low. They set it with the EMA support down here, right? And now we are coming back up to our tops very, very, very nicely. So guys, keep an eye on your 136, 137 level here. High 136 is 137. It's going to be your area of resistance. I am just expecting weekly continuation to the upside. Healthcare has been performing very well over the last month, and I don't expect that to change now with most of our major healthcare names having their earnings already passed and having done quite well on them. So looking for continuation. And on the monthly, right? It's a monthly breakout as well. We're now above our moving averages on the monthly, and healthcare, I don't expect them to lose that very easily. So I really think that healthcare is well positioned here to come up into our all-time high areas over the remainder of the year. So I'm definitely looking for continuation here. But if we reject double top at this area right here, we are pretty much just looking for a higher low. And at that point, guys, anything really above 132 is just going to be for a higher low area for further push. IWM Russell, growth names, getting some good results here at the bottom, right? I had pointed out over the last week that we were counting on this previous area of resistance to act as support, which it pretty much did today, bounced right off of it. And now we are starting the upswing. Look at the 4 hour, guys. 4 hour downtrend, right? Bears not able to push through this area. So this 190 area is a very big area of contention. If we get up over this tomorrow, right, and continue our daily bounce, we are going to be looking very well. What were we looking for on IWM? Well, the entire time that this was in a daily downtrend, I was telling you guys, keep an eye on the weekly. We're just looking for your weekly higher low for continuation, right? Anything above 180.5 was going to be that. So depending on the size of this bounce, if bulls can reverse this trend to the upside on the daily, guys, this will be your weekly higher low confirmed right around here, 188, for potential further move. Our second test here at our 200 psychological. Bulls looking very good, but once again, guys, we need to see the size of the bounce. I would want to see bulls get above 194.15 to really create enough space to make that higher low happen. Dow Jones names consolidating very well here, right? This is a tightening range at the top with a slightly bullish bias. So bears unable to break your 35,000 psychological level. What were we looking for, guys, on the weekly? Anything above 33,700 was just for your weekly higher low. So it should not be surprising that bulls are putting up some very good defense in this level. Dow Jones as well positioned very, very well to make a second leg up here on this little weekly uptrend that we got going, right? Weekly uptrend, right? Going to be looking here for that next leg to put us right into the all-time high areas. And our value name earnings this week could do it. If they perform well, guys, expect our bulls to be able to move higher into this range, only looking for that weekly higher low. Say very beautiful weekly bull flag. Still have some space to the downside. If we do potentially come down here, keep an eye. Our 12 EMA and this area of horizontal support right here, beautiful area of confluence, gives me a lot of confidence that the bulls can take this and push higher. So beautiful daily bounces underway, guys. Bitcoin today. Bitcoin, I mean, put in a bit of a day today, but actually pretty much gave it right back. We are still just consolidating, guys, right? 1 day of push and then 7 days of sideways. Still struggling with this little green box area, which is now resistance, right? Oops. Still struggling with this green box area of resistance. So I've been saying it, guys, until we can put a daily close into the 30,000 area, right? Somewhere around here, I cannot say that our weekly higher lows have been set. They're doing a good job of playing defense around the 12 EMA, but I need to see a push into the 30s, close above here to be able to say, okay, nice. Our weekly higher low is set and we're due for further upside. As of now, crypto doing a whole lot of nothing. Now, let's get into our major tech names, right? Apple Daily earnings bounce is pretty much underway at this point, right? Apple putting in a nice 1% day here today. You could see it on the 4 hours as well, right? 4 hour was bottoming. Bears unable to break this 177 area of support, right? So as of now, you can see the bulls trying for their 4 hour trend change, which leads me to believe get a nice other green day tomorrow. Your daily bounce will be underway. The size of the bounce is going to be crucial. If we bounce only like this, come back to our lows here, very possible that we flush into my sweet spot area 175 to 170. But if the bulls put in enough of a move here into the high 180s, very likely that they can set up for the daily trend change, and that would confirm that our weekly higher low is most likely set. I was saying anything pretty much above this whole 160 area was just going to be a weekly higher low. Bulls reacting very nicely at the lower levels here, right? So pleased to see that on Apple. Apple now, all of our indicators, long-term indicators, RSI, are pretty much off the overbought area. So some decent space to work with, guys. Just keep an eye. The size of this move is going to be crucial. Obviously, any bounce, we are just looking for a lower high. Anything below 197 is just going to be a lower high compared to our previous high, right? But the size of the bounce determines how likely are we to either get a tightening range or potential daily trend change setup for your weekly higher low, right? So great job on Apple. Going to keep a close eye on this one over the next few days. AMD. Beautiful day on AMD. I was so upset this morning. I was at the dentist pretty much all the way through market open, all the way through about 11 a.m. Eastern. And when I got back to this chart, I had completely missed the dip, right? Got back home around noon. I was like, oh, it's already 110, but it dipped this morning at the open down into the 105 area. Beautiful area to snipe some contracts. I hope some of you guys potentially got in on that. But very nice day on AMD. They flushed this whole area, the 107, probably cleared out a lot of people's stops, right? Anybody who had a stop loss under here probably is very frustrated. They got taken out and then the market pretty much ran with their money. Brutal little stop hunt here by the market makers. But AMD looking fairly decent, right? This is one of our best days on AMD in a while, 4% on the day, right? And you can go back all in this range. You cannot find a 4% day. The best we had here is 3.5 on August the 2nd, but to get 4%, you have to go all the way back here to June, right? So looking very good for a upswing here, still trapped in this range. What I want to see bulls do is get as close as possible to the top end of this range, create enough space, set a daily higher low, and then smash through. If they do that, guys, then I can pretty much say your weekly, range is pretty much done with at that point. And AMD working on the higher time frames even, you are also going to be able to say that your monthly higher low is most likely in. So AMD had a chance of losing the weekly trend, right? But they didn't, could not close it down here, right? We'll see obviously how the week ends, but very nice move off the bottoms from the bulls. Obviously my sweet spot is down 104 to 100. So if we do somehow tomorrow or whatnot pull back into this area, I will definitely be looking for those contracts again. Depending how we open tomorrow, I may get a little cheeky and try for anywhere below 108 for some contracts because I do still want to play AMD. I think it represents still some good value. All right, apologize for that, guys. Had to get some coffee there. So Amazon, beautiful day on Amazon as well, right? Look at this, right? What were we looking for? The daily higher low. I was saying anything above 126.30 was just going to be your daily higher low. We were also looking for our weekly higher low, right? Nice little weekly bull flag here at the top. We were looking for an area of confluence, 12 EMA and the support. It never got down to the 135 area, only as low as about 137 last Friday, but still within $2 of this whole zone here. So great job by the bulls. Daily bounce is underway. Your next area of resistance is obviously 143.53. And then guys, we're going all the way up to the top of this guy, 145. If we break 145, guys, watch out. Next area is all the way up here, pretty much 170. So tons of room for Amazon to work with. Amazon, one of the most bullish charts, as well as Google across all pretty much big tech for their ability to put in some good gains all the way to all-time highs, right? Keep in mind, Google and Amazon are still some of the ones that are still down a decent amount off all-time highs here. Amazon 25%. So that's what we're looking for, guys. Just keep an eye. We're looking for the daily bounce at this point, right? Remains to be seen if we get caught in a tightening range or if bulls are able to smash this. But in my opinion, guys, bulls in full control of this chart. Weekly looks absolutely beautiful for continuation. Down to Google. All right, so Google, same thing as Amazon, right? So Google actually did, instead of pushing through, you see Amazon chart is stuck at this candle right here right now. Google consolidated sideways over the past 2 weeks, right? So remains to be seen what Amazon will do, but this is what Google did. We were just looking for daily higher low, right? And now we're kind of stuck in a tightening range. But if we go out to the weekly here, this is once again a weekly bull flag, rejecting nicely off this support level here, which was previous resistance. Google also set up very well, guys. Keep in mind, Google still about 13, 14% off the all-time highs, so double pretty much the indexes in relation to all-time highs. And Google, what are we looking for here, guys? Need the bulls to start breaking 134. If they break 134, guys, it's off to the races. Google, really, your next area you're targeting is 144, 145 area, right? Very, very big area of resistance up there. If we do get the continuation on the upswing, it will pretty much get into that area without many problems. And Google is also one of my favorite names. I will reiterate, looking very, very, very good for continuation, playing nicely off this 12 EMA here. So keep an eye, guys, keep an eye. Google bulls are coming for it, right? Nice control here by the bulls on the longer time frames. Meta. Now, Meta, what are we looking for on Meta here? We got our first little daily bounce underway here after this little daily downtrend, right? So all of last week, Meta was kind of slowly bleeding away. What were we looking for, guys, on the weekly? We were looking for a higher low. Anything above 289 was just for a weekly higher low. Seems to be a nice little bounce undergoing here, even though we did have a decent amount of space left, right? But keep an eye on the size of the bounce. If we put in a bounce, we get back over 318, the bulls are going to be set up nicely to have a potential daily trend change. As of now, still a daily downtrend, still just looking for a lower high as your most likely scenario. Anything below that 319 will just be a lower high for potential continuation. So keep an eye on the size of the bounce. This week is going to be crucial for a lot of big tech names because their daily bounces are underway, and the common theme here is we need to look at the size of the bounces. The weekly Meta bulls are still in control here, but we are still in a daily downtrend until the bulls reverse that. So just keep an eye on that closely, guys, for Meta. Moving averages acting as slight resistance, but tomorrow or Wednesday is going to be the breakthrough days for Meta. We're either going to continue and break down towards our support line here, 289, or the bulls are going to set themselves up nicely for a potential daily trend change. So let's take this one day at a time. But Meta looking fairly healthy, especially with today's price action. Microsoft as well, we were just looking for pretty much, right, daily downtrend continuation, which we got, and now daily bounces underway. So let me delete these lines right here and we'll be more clear, okay? So your last leg down here was started with this guy right here, 328, right? High 328, 328.50 is going to be the level. Lines up with the 12 EMA to the downside. Now, if bulls can put in enough of a move and smash this little level right here, they will create a decent amount of space to set up for a daily trend change. What have we been looking for on Microsoft? We were always looking for your weekly higher low, right? So all of this one move on Microsoft, just looking for a weekly higher low. Yes, you had decent amount of support here, which we temporarily lost, but the true move did start all the way down here at 275. You guys can see, right? Same move. We were just looking for the weekly higher low, and also we're looking for the monthly higher low on Microsoft. So they could be able to set up both at the same time. So Microsoft with about 3-4 weeks here of downside. Nice to see them put in a decent little day today here, up about 1%, right? The last 1% day was about 2 weeks ago here, back in July, right? Friday, 28th of July. So it's nice to see them here. And if you look on the 4-hour, guys, we are starting, right? The 12 EMA was acting as resistance. Now we're starting to cross above it. So we'll see if we can continue tomorrow and set up for a 4-hour trend change and really get this daily bounce moving with some legs. So keep an eye on that for Microsoft here, looking good. But if we continue to break down, my sweet spot quickly approaching here, 310 all the way down to 285, right? Decent little buying area for me. But Microsoft bulls, you know, longer time frames here, they are still in control. It's just we had lost the weeklies, right? But now the size of these bounces are crucial. NVIDIA, disgusting move on NVIDIA today, 7%, right? So what I want you guys to notice is that today we flirted with disaster. We came all the way down to our 404. What was 404? It was our weekly higher low. Weekly higher low was slightly tested and the bulls said no thanks, all right? So they rejected quickly from that. Bears getting absolutely engulfed. And when I say measure the size of the move, guys, this is a decent enough move to where they've created a lot of space. If we get a green day tomorrow and Wednesday, they'll have created so much space, guys, to potentially reverse this daily downtrend that we had into a new daily uptrend and potentially kicking NVIDIA off to even higher highs, going to be flirting with our 52-week high area and all-time high area at that point. But nasty move on NVIDIA. Look at this move on the 4-hour. So much space has been created to set a new 4-hour uptrend. So that is going to be the most likely scenario for me on NVIDIA. But we cut it so close, guys. Pretty much down to the penny, right? So keep an eye on that for NVIDIA. But NVIDIA bulls definitely reversing about a week's worth of damage pretty much in one day. Very notable move for NVIDIA for me. So we're just looking for the weekly higher lows. Seems as though we got it. Two possible scenarios. We end up with a tightening range because when the bears take back all the move like this, can end up in a tightening range. But this is why the size of the bounce is crucial. If we get all the way back up here, guys, then it's very possible we just set a new daily uptrend and push higher. So keep an eye out for that. Tesla, decent little day as well, but Tesla kind of started with a pretty much gap down open on the day. So this is Friday's close. You can see we started gapping down into the 235, 233 area this morning, and bulls were able to reverse it intraday. So you like to see that. So all of these names have kind of bounced from the morning and they're setting up for potential daily bounces. The problem with Tesla is that it didn't really close higher than Friday's close, unlike a lot of other tech names. So Tesla still with a lot of work to do. What happened though? We cut our weekly higher low area. Our 241 area, 240 level was unfortunately cut this morning in a significant way, right? So we have now lost the weekly uptrend at this point, right? It's not a weekly downtrend. A weekly downtrend would be lower high and then lower low, right? As of now, it's just a down swing on the weekly. But once again, if Tesla gets a nice little bounce undergoing here, we are going to measure the size of the bounce. If they can engulf 251 over the next week, we will set up decently for a potential daily trend change. And at that point, your weekly bounce will be underway. Then when the weekly bounce is underway, measure the size of the bounce. If they get all the way up here, could set up for a weekly uptrend, a new weekly uptrend. Since we lost this one, right? There's no reason they can't set a potential other one. But we're going to be looking out closely when they set this weekly lower high, whenever this bounce tops out, right? Are they going to be able to set it up for a weekly uptrend, or will we just continue flushing to lower lows? That's why the size of these bounces on the dailies and the weeklies, guys, are absolutely crucial. So Tesla, decent little recovery today, but I need to see them push above 252 before I can confidently say, okay, Tesla is set up for more. And lastly, Palantir and PayPal, right? So Palantir, decent little day. Palantir daily upswing is currently underway, right? Daily little bounce going. Keep an eye on these 12 EM. Keep an eye on both your moving averages, actually, right around the 1650 area. So we're going to measure, like Apple, the size of the bounce. This is the key of today's video, size of the bounce, right? We are just looking at this point for a lower high. Anything below our 52-week high, 2015, is just going to be for a lower high. But how high do we bounce, right? If we only bounce like this, get rejected by the moving averages, start coming back lower, I can probably confidently say that we're going to flush to lower lows and continue our weekly downswing. But as of now, guys, looking decent for the bulls, rejecting this area here, 4-hour time frame, also putting in a nice new 4-hour uptrend here. It's small, but it's something. And what we're really always looking for on Palantir, guys, I've been saying this every single day in every single video, anything above 1354 was always for your weekly higher low. Didn't like last week's momentum, but nicely rejected here. Our 12 EMA acting as support. We were looking for it. So if the bulls can get a nice little bounce underway, I will confidently say that our weekly higher low is set at around $15. So all depends on the size of this move. And lastly, PayPal. PayPal with its earnings bounce underway here. So getting some nice little lift today on the day, almost up 3%, right? That's a very decent day. Better than the last Monday's move pretty much as well, right? So once again, size of the bounce, guys. We'll see how high we can bounce. If we can bounce decently high, can potentially set up for a daily trend change. At that point, guys, it will be your weekly bounce from earnings underway. Bulls have a lot of work to do, however. Don't get it twisted, right? There's a big gap to fill here. So I need to see a significant bounce. I would love to see PayPal bounce all the way to at least $66. And that's not just because my strike is there. I need to see them put in a nice little bounce, 66, 67. It sets up enough space to set a higher low above our recent low here of 61.50 to set up for a daily trend change. If not, guys, we are just going to be moving to weekly lower lows, right? The bears have done a great job here, created a lot of space, and they're looking for this, right? So all relies on the size of the bounce. We'll take these one day at a time. And lastly, guys, going to look into my portfolio here. Guys, so for my portfolio here, you can see that we did have a nice little upswing day here. So we're still up 53% for the year. The S&P just about 16, 17% here on their own. So still some decent outperformance on the S&P 500. And the NASDAQ respectively, right? NASDAQ going about 31% here. We're up 53. So not quite a double, but some decent outperformance on our major indexes for the year. And I just want to take you guys through my positions very quickly. So on Friday's video, I showed you guys that we were playing defense. Two new positions for the day today, however. If you see a blue dot here, it means it's a new position from today. I did the BABA 90 puts. Didn't catch them at the bottom of the day because I got to my computer around noontime, right, when I got back home. So BABA have the strike down here at 90. I really like their earnings, so I don't mind playing the 90s. I did not get as much premium as I could have on the day. When they were down here earlier in the morning, I could have got about 80, 90 cents. So I only got less than that. I would have even been able to write the 89s, 88s. Unfortunately, we had to deal with what we were offered at the time. So I did take the 90 puts for 41 cents each, not quite 0.5%, but I'm pretty happy, especially with the BABAs at 90. It's a decent strike price for me. And SE here, right? SE has earnings tomorrow morning, so keep that in mind. I took advantage of the volatility and wrote the 46 puts. All right, so SE, let me bring up this chart. We'll do a few things at the same time on it. So SE 46 puts, right? I got assigned SE, my first 100 shares at $63, right? So $63 to 46, that would be my first average down for about 27% if ever that we drop all the way down there tomorrow. You guys can see that on SE, my break even, you can see that my break even on SE now, as I said on the chart here, is 56.44. So that's 63 minus the calls that I wrote last week at 62, minus the covered calls that I have for tomorrow, the ones at 56 that I described in Friday's video. Very defensive play. I want to give myself as much premium as I can leading into earnings to bring my break even down. And now if you also subtract these $44 from our break even price, we are left with a break even of $56.44 down from $63 assignment price. So I did a great job here of minimizing or reducing my average cost of those 100 shares, right? So if for ever which reason, guys, we get called away, if SE goes up and we're now above $56, $57, $58 tomorrow, right? I will be able to roll these and I'm only going to be down, right? If I get called away at 56, I'd only be down $44. That's very good risk management all the way down from 63. So I'll probably roll them out 1 week more potentially and get some premium and probably get out of this position break even or at a slight profit. AA, same thing. I got all these last Friday, so these aren't new. If you haven't seen the explanation behind them, you can go watch Friday's video, but none of these positions are pretty much new, right? So just wanted to do a quick recap on that. AA and CSIQ, I've been playing them very defensively, right? AA, just to reiterate here, they're down a lot since my assignment price of 35. But with all the premium that I wrote in the past 2 weeks, our break even is down to 33.05. So we're down just over about $1.30 a share here. Much better than being down over $3.15 a share. So good job of me averaging down on, averaging down with premium, right? Getting my average cost lower. And CSIQ, same thing. We got assigned at 35 here pretty much, right? So instead of being down roughly $2 a share, my break even now with these past plays, the ones from 2 weeks ago and last week, right? We were able to bring our average cost down with these covered calls to $33.70. So you guys can see these covered calls right here are $33 a pop. So if for ever which reason we're ending over 33 at the end of this week, as you can see we are right now, I will roll them for an extra week, okay? But for now, we are only down, if I get called away at 33, let's say, if we're above 33 on Friday, we're only down 70 cents per share, which is very good, especially being assigned at 35. If we do end up over 33, I'll roll them at a premium profit, and we're going to reduce this break even more. And we'll probably, same thing as SE, same thing as AA. We're trying to get out of these positions, at least for break even, or as much profit that we can generate here over the next couple weeks. But I wanted to play them defensively, especially with our indexes here in daily downtrends until we got reversed, right? So all that being said, same thing for Teslas as well. Teslas, you see, I was running the 240s, rolled them down to the 230s. All I'm looking for on Tesla here, to take these covered calls off, I need to see a daily trend reversal. As soon as I see the bulls create enough space on this next little dip here, what I'll do is I'll take these covered calls off, and we're going to take our chances for the daily trend change, and we're going to follow Tesla up. So when all these positions here, when I'll be able to lift these covered calls off, we're going to generate some nice premium here and get our accounts back up to our yearly highs. So that's just a quick little tidbit here. I'll be looking to write more premium. Didn't have much time to trade today in the morning, was fairly disappointed, but over the next couple days, I will definitely be looking for more opportunities to throw on more contracts. So that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Consider liking the video if you did. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're new here. I always appreciate your guys' engagement and questions. If ever you're curious about anything, you want me to look at a stock, explain my premium plays, explain how I choose options or whatnot, feel free to leave a comment down there and I'll answer you as soon as I can, which is probably pretty much the same day or within a few hours. So take care, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow after the close, and congratulations to all our bulls out there for the day. Peace.